As we come in now to the 3 weeks, we have to know a few things. We say this every year, but we have to repeat it because people forget about these things, If you don't say it, people don't remember. So let's talk about what we have here. That it says in the Midrash that there's a shed, demon that goes around at this time of year, 3 weeks, every day from Yud Zayin Tammuz until Tisha B'Av. He goes around, and his job, is to do damage. He damages things. He kills people. All kinds of things like this. Dangerous, Gangster. He's a gangster, mafia. This is a spiritual mafia. Right? So that's what he does. He goes around, and he's a dangerous guy. This guy, right? So let's explain to you what happens over here, right? First of all, it says in the Talmud some strange things about this guy. It says he's shaped like a ball. He's round, and full of eyes. All eyes everywhere. And it says, right, that he's so scary that if you see him, you die. You know what I mean? He'll scare you to death. That's how scary he is. Sorry? I don't know exactly what you mean, but...
It's one of the angels on the high rank.
No, that's something else. This guy, he's not angel, he's demon, So anyway, if you see him, you're finished. Too scary. He's too scary to bear. So how do you avoid this guy, right? What do? You have to know how to stay away from him. Stay clear. You know what you do, right? When you see a gangster in the street, some dangerous guy, mafia, what do? When you see him, cross the street, go to the other side. Don't get involved with this guy, Because these people, they're dangerous, right? If you say one thing wrong to them, they get offended, they'll kill you. They'll get somebody to kill you, or they'll kill you themselves. This is the way they are. That's why you have to also avoid this guy. You also have to avoid him. He's dangerous. So what do? Number one, right? He has a timetable. He goes to work, right, at a certain time, and he finishes the work at a certain time. So you have to watch out, especially those hours. Stay away from him. What are those hours? It says in the Gemara, it says in the Midrash, from the 4th hour of the day until the 9th hour of the day, right? So, what does it mean 4th hour? It doesn't mean 4 p.m. That's not what I mean to say, right? I'm talking about the 4th hour from sunrise, right? Like we measure, what time when it comes for tefillah. So, what does that mean? It's the beginning of the 4th hour. That's what it says, right? Poskim. When is the beginning of the 4th hour? About 9:15. Because the end is about 10:30. You understand? But he already starts early. He comes early. This guy, right? He likes to come early to the job. So he comes 9:15, not 10:30. Right? So already 9:15, you got to watch out. Okay? He works, like, we say, right, in America, 9 to 5. He's like a 9 to 5 guy. So what does that mean? He works until about the end of the 9th hour. What is that? About 4:45, about 5 o'clock. About 5 o'clock, you're good already. He's already gone. He's gone. So those are the hours you have to be careful. But what does that mean? What? He can get you anywhere? He can catch you anywhere? No, it's not like that. He can't catch you anywhere. It depends on where you are. So the Chazal say, if you want to stay away from this guy, especially in those hours that we just mentioned, what you do is, stay away from dangerous areas. What are the dangerous areas? Don't go to a place which is deserted, no people there. Some people, like to go to the beach. Nobody there at the beach. Or they go to the forest, right? Nobody there. Just him. At this time of year, in those hours, to go, to a deserted place like this, dangerous, sakana, mesukan. Why? Because he can get you over there, in those deserted areas. That's the thing. He can get you. So don't go over there, right? If you do, what do they say, the Chazal? Right? They say if you're going to a deserted area, go with 3 people, This way you'll be safe. But don't go by yourself. This is no good. 2 is also not so bad, but 3 is good. You know what I mean? But 1, dangerous. He can get you. Watch out. That's number 1. Number 2, they say, he likes to He likes to be between the sun and the shade, where the kav, the line is. The line which divides the sun and the shade. He's right there in that line, So they tell you, in those hours, right, don't walk over there in that line between the sun and the shade. That's the dangerous area. He likes to go there, That's his highway. He likes to travel over there, So, as we said, right, if you see him, you're going to die. Lo aleinu, all the more so if he does something to you, it's even worse, right? So you don't want to see this guy. That's the thing, So the way you avoid it is by following these rules. That's how you avoid it. So as we said, right? But if you're getting up early, coming to minyan early, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, he's still not there. So you can go home. You're all good, right? And go to work. Go to the office, whatever it is you go. You'll be all right. Because he doesn't really come indoors. He's outdoors. This guy. He's an outdoor guy. Understand? So when you're indoors, you're safe. That's the thing, So the truth is, if you're a smart, clever guy, what you're gonna do is stay indoors, during this time, But if you can't, so follow the rules that I told you, right? This way you're gonna have a much better situation. Also, at this time of year, I can tell you right now, don't do things which are dangerous, Sakana. What does that mean? Don't drive like a maniac, You got your sports car, BMW, driving like a crazy beshuga. This is not the time for that now. Even all year round, you shouldn't do that. But especially this time of year, you know what I mean? If you're doing this time of year, this kind of thing, you're asking for problems, you know what I mean? You should know, by the way. You're inviting the problem. Don't do these kinds of things. Drive safe, slow, nice, easy. Take it easy. And don't race people, Some crazy guy comes and tells you, hey, you want to race? Tell him, no, thanks. Maybe we'll do it next month. Not this month. I don't want to race you this month. That's the thing. So you got to be careful. Don't do crazy stuff during this time of year. You got to be careful. There is sakana. There's danger there. So you got to chill out. Don't do crazy things. Also, Chazal say another thing, which is also sakana, because of this demon. You know what it is? Don't hit your children. Even though sometimes, when the children make us crazy, sometimes we give them a pachi, a little bit, right? We give them a pachi. Sometimes we do that. But this is not the time. This time of year, not the time for that. You know what I mean? Hold back your hands. Tie it behind your back like this, your hands, right? Don't move your hands to your child. So it says like this, right? That if you hit your child during this time, this demon also hits him, He also hits him. You hit him, he also hits him. But the problem is he hits him, harder than you. He could kill him. You know what I mean? That's the thing. So that's why they say, at this time of year, 3 weeks, the parents shouldn't hit the children, and the teachers shouldn't hit the students, Sometimes the teachers like to do that, you know what I mean? In the old days, that's the way it was. Today, if a teacher does that, he'll get arrested, the police will arrest him.
They do.
You know what I mean? They do, it's true. They do. But I'll tell you something, it's dangerous, you got to be careful, because sometimes you get arrested, So, anyway, right, they say this time of year, even if you do it the rest of the year, this time of year, don't touch the kid. Not the time for that, right? Chill out, take it easy. But says, right, Maran, Rabbi, he says something interesting. He says that if you're doing it outside of those hours, then it's okay, because he's not there, as we said, right? So before 9 or after 5, you're good, it's okay, just those hours we have a problem. Because after, outside of those hours, he's not even there, he's gone. He's resting, He's going for dinner, right?
How we know that?
Huh?
How we know that?
How do we know that? No, you tell me. How do we know? Because it says in the Torah. It says in the Torah.
You said between 9 and 5. How we know he's not there before 9 and 5?
It says in the Torah. That's how we know, of course. Like everything else. How do we know anything? Because it says in the Torah. Hashem gave us the Torah. Right? To open our eyes, Because if you don't open your eyes with the Torah, you're blind. Lo aleinu, Shem Yirachem. You're blind. You don't know nothing. You don't know what's going on.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Or you didn't finish it?
We still have a little bit more.
Okay.
Let's go a little bit more.
Leave the time for questions.
Another thing, that people ask about during this time of year, a lot of people ask me this question. Always asking this question. Number one, are you allowed to swim, go swimming? or maybe it's dangerous to go swimming, because swimming is also dangerous, you know what I mean? So the truth is, by custom of the Sfarim, we're not really makpid about this, to avoid swimming. So by us, you can go swimming on these days. There's no problem. Except Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av, you can't go swimming, right? Because you're not allowed to go in the water. You can't even put your finger in the water like this, right? You can't even do that. So how are you going to go swimming on Tisha B'Av? But all the other days, you can go swimming, right? According to our custom. So, somebody told me, right, that there's a Bukharian, like a story like this, where some people went swimming, during this time and they died. You know what I mean? You ever hear about this? You heard about this?
Yeah, we had a
Story like this, right? So the truth is, that could be true. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not trying to deny that. You know what I mean? But the thing is like this. Let me tell you good advice. There are rules about swimming, Two things you need to know. One is, even the poskim, they say, the rabbis, don't ever go swimming without a lifeguard. There, somebody who can save you. Especially when you go to the beach, you know what I mean? Over there, you shouldn't go into the water without a lifeguard. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, that's halakha. Somebody has to be able to save you over there. Because sometimes the tide comes in, the current, and sweeps you out. Zhook! Like this, like a vacuum cleaner. And you don't know. You think, oh no, I can do it. I can do it. No, it's going to sweep you. Like this, And you're not even going to be able to do nothing. It happens all the time, these kinds of things. In Israel also it happens a lot. They go swimming? To many places, but they go, to the Kinneret. Over there, the waves are very strong. You know what I mean? So if you go swimming there without a lifeguard, you could be finished, Watch out. It's a very strong current over there, There are a lot of strong winds going on there, So the current can just sweep you out, So that's what I say, This Bukharian story, yeah, okay, it's true, but you know how you avoid that? Don't go swimming without a lifeguard, number one. Right? Don't do it. I don't care if it's 3 weeks or outside the 3 weeks. Don't ever do it. That's one thing. It says right in the Talmud, I'll tell you something interesting, right? How deep do you have to go into the water to be dangerous? Sakana, right? When you go up to your waist, it's already sakana. Even not up to here. I'm not talking about the chest or the shoulders. The waist is already sakana. You know why? Because the tide can sweep you out already. Once you're waist deep. Even though you're not fully in the water. So you got to watch out. You know what I mean? That's it's just a good advice, to keep yourself safe. So that's how you avoid, this Bukharian problem. You know what I mean? This Bukharian story. Number one, don't go swimming without a lifeguard. Number two, as we said, right? We said that what? That don't go swimming in a deserted place. Because there, as we said, right? It's dangerous, Nobody there. Just you, or let's say it's just you and your wife, or you or your son. Also dangerous, Don't do it. So that's the thing, If you want to avoid problems with swimming, you can go swimming. Only with a lifeguard, and don't go to a deserted place where there's nobody there. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen, Amen.
okay, say condition,
רבי חנניה המלך אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות ישראל, לפיכך חיבר להם תורה ומצוות שנאמר אדוני חפש, למען צדקו יגדיל תורה ויאדיר.